Coming up on Channel 8 News, we'll take a look at how inflation rates are having an effect on prices at the grocery store. Plus, how one club on campus is providing a safe space for individuals in the queer community. And later, we'll look at how one community member uses her love of exercise to help change lives. But first, we'll take a look at our forecast for today.
Thanks, Landon. All right, so as for weather for today, we're going to be seeing our high in the mid to high 70s later this afternoon around 3. And we do have a chance for some scattered thunderstorms this evening and some rain this weekend. For that and more, stay tuned to Channel 8 News.
This is KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good morning and welcome back to Channel 8 News. I'm Landon Reinhardt. Coming up, we'll take a look at how a new EMS facility set to be constructed in North Riley County may decrease ambulance response times. Plus, we'll be joined live in studio by a Flint Hills Human Rights Project board member prior to the Little Apple Pride Parade on Saturday. But first, a look at how the current inflation rates on food is affecting the Manhattan community. Channel 8 reporter Claiborne Schmidt has more.
Not only have inflation rates increased on car prices and gasoline, but also on food. Community members are dealing with the recent increase in their own ways.
It's amazing how
a new EMS station is set to go up in North.
Not only have inflation rates increased on car prices and gasoline, but also on food. Community members are dealing with the recent increase in their own ways.
it's amazing how they claim it's 17 to 20% increase, but I'm seeing it in dollars and cents. It hurts. Other than that, we're dealing with it.
Currently, the U.S. inflation rates on food is 7.5%, nearly the highest in 40 years. Many community members are finding they are having to be more selective about the foods they are buying, as well as the quantities.
It makes you cut back a little bit more. You know, you don't buy the frivolous things that you used to, but you have to think of new ways to economize, too.
Some people haven't changed what they buy, but how they buy.
I already buy fairly inexpensive food if I can help it. I shop by meal instead of by pound.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, meat prices have risen nearly 14% this past year. Some community members have found alternatives to buying meat in the grocery store.
Haven't so much changed my diet. I've changed the way that I buy my meat. I go now right to the farmer, and I cut out kind of the middleman and get a better quality of meat usually at a lower price.
In Manhattan, this is Claiborne Schmidt, Channel 8 News.
You can learn more about the current and previous inflation rates in the U.S. by looking on the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. Recently, the Riley County Commission unanimously agreed to build a new emergency response building in North Riley County. The EMS director says that current response times are unacceptable, but this facility may change that.
A new EMS station is set to go up in northern Riley County to try to shorten high ambulance response times.
County Commission have decided that our response times to northern Riley County are not acceptable.
I'm at the northernmost EMS station in the county to see just how long it might take you to receive emergency services.
According to the Journal of the American Heart Association, cardiac arrest victims who are seen in the first 6 minutes have a near 20% survival rate. For victims seen 15 minutes after the incident, that rate jumps down to just 8%.
25 minutes later, I made it to the Riley County line.
You drive 35 minutes to the other end of the county. You spend 20 minutes or 25 minutes on scene and then drive another 35 minutes. You haven't got a patient back to a care facility within that golden hour. There's a lot greater chance that you're not going to survive from that.
The commission has agreed to build a new station, but haven't picked a location yet. Currently, the northernmost station is at the Public Works facility, while 2 locations in discussion are in Leonardville and Randolph.
When the average response time for us in northern Riley County is about 16 minutes. Very far north, it's up to 30 minutes. And that's just too much. That's too long for anybody.
30 minutes is a long, 20 to 30 minutes is a long time. I mean, and if you're having an emergency, it's important.
Riley County hopes to have the new station up by the end of the year.
The new station is expected to cut average response time in half, from 16 minutes to 8 minutes, and the longest response time from 35 minutes to 15. The new 5-story parking garage in Ggieville is officially open. The $17 million project cut the red ribbon last Friday, opening up 453 parking stalls to the public. Parking is free until at least January 2023, while the city works on a parking management program.
It's been a long time coming, and this garage is really going to be a great catalyst for the other vision efforts that we have to see more development and growth in the Aggieville district.
Parking can be reached through the Laramie and 14th Street intersection while construction continues on North Manhattan Avenue. Tomorrow is Earth Day, and on Saturday, one local organization and volunteers took their kayaks and canoes to the Kansas River to clean up waste, including car parts and battery casings. Channel 8 reporter Jacob Hall has more.
Katie Jansen is a student at K-State who spent her Saturday morning cleaning up the banks of the Kansas River. She says that it was pleasing to see so many volunteers at the event.
It makes me really happy and really pleased that this many people showed up. I know that it was really tough waking up out of bed and coming here, especially with kayaks. Your hands are freezing. It's nice to know that there's this many people willing to go out of their way.
Jansen says that one of her passions in life is to help keep the environment clean for years to come.
Yeah, so it's amazing how much stuff you can find. Like, I don't know what this is.
I like to think of what I plan to do in the future as being the Lorax. Especially doing this is right up my alley, trying to lessen the effects that humans have had on the environment.
Batteries like this one have been in the Kansas River for over 40 years. But this year, event volunteers were doing their part to make sure that these go in the trash and onto the airboat.
We believe that there was a recycling facility somewhere along the river. Would take the old batteries out to recycle them, and then the cases were on the backside of the property, and over time they washed into the river.
Bueller says that they began holding this event cleaning up battery cases several years ago, but after the first year, they knew that more help was needed.
The first year that we came out here, we thought, well, we'll just come out and we'll pick up some battery cases and we'll take some canoes and we'll paddle them downstream. It was hard work. It was so hard. You see the airboat behind me. We can't get these battery cases off without the airboats. We've tried using smaller boats and they're just too heavy.
For Jansen, she says that attending events like this one make you reflect on what you can do to prevent trash from getting into the river. In Manhattan, Jacob Hall, Channel 8 News.
Friends of the Cause, a nonprofit organization with a mission of preserving the Kansas River, and will hold another cleanup event later this year. More information can be found at kansasriver.org. Time for our first break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at how the Sexuality and Gender Alliance Club at K-State is creating a sense of belonging for its members. Plus, we'll sit down with the Flint Hills Human Rights Project board member prior to the Little Apple Pride Parade on Saturday. That's next.
It's like a purple front has kind of moved into the stadium. Beautiful day and music's loud. The fans are on their feet.
Wilnet crushes it to left, and K-State leads 8-1. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. Reams it to center. Long run for Mertz. He can't get there. K-State has added 5 here this 6th inning.
State will run the option. Here's Skylar Thompson. He walks it in. Walks it in for Antonio Gordon. Here's the shot and it's got it. And it is Kansas State, courtesy of Brent Carlson.
Side of the box, crossing, wide open, the shot.
Thompson right away. That ball is gone.
She gets the ball back, goes up strong, scores, and one.
He'll take it down on Jacobson. Off to McGurl. Layup. Yes. Fielded at the 48. Here's Brooks to the 25-20. He's going to score. Wildcat touchdown.
He crushes it.
Kansas State's athletic program does not like to postpone until tomorrow what can be accomplished today.
It's going to be tied into Bramlage with some upgrades to Bramlage in terms of the Legends Room. Is now going to be 7 times bigger than it currently is, with new entrances on the east and west side. So that facility, the South End Zone project, is going to touch both Bramlage in a very positive way, and obviously finish off the stadium look and feel.
Service for the LGBTQ plus community has been on the rise at K-State. Reporter Kate Kennedy joins us with more.
Thanks, Landon. Little Apple Pride is hosting their annual Pride Parade and Festival this Saturday. The LGBTQ plus community at K-State is also trying to create a sense of belonging for those who are looking for it. For many students, a key part of college life is finding a community and a sense of belonging. The Sexuality and Gender Alliance Club at K-State has been working hard to create that community for many queer individuals.
Saga really provides kind of just a like a listening space and, again, community, which I think is really important for queer students. Without that community, I think that we can get kind of lost.
While Saga provides a safe space for queer students, some members feel like the university could be doing more for this minority group.
I think that the university has made good strides in providing us this space and providing us resources. However, we've seen a lot of reactionary change, and I think that K-State in the future needs to be much more proactive.
Other members hope to see this change in action sooner rather than later.
Often I've heard that queer students will get to go to meetings and stuff and they'll say the same thing year after year and things won't change, or things change but it takes a long time.
While it is still unsure when these improvements will happen, Wortman is proud of the work Saga has done and hopes that the Manhattan community will start making changes as well.
We're here, we exist, we're thriving, we're not all just like hiding. And then for like the community in general, it's like I want people to know that we belong, not just like them letting us into their space, but us being a part of their space.
Even if these changes are implemented in the near future, the members of Saga will continue to provide a safe and welcoming environment for all. In Manhattan, I'm Kate Kennedy for Channel 8 News. For more information about the Sexuality and Gender Alliance Club, you can visit the link below. And then joining me now in the studio, we have Kevin Stilley, who is a key member of the Little Apple Pride organization. So just to kind of kick things off, can you go ahead and tell me what's all happening this weekend?
Well, starting this evening and tomorrow evening from 5:30 to 7:30, we will be doing pre-sales of the T-shirts at the First Congregational Church at Juliet and Points. On Saturday, the parade starts at 11:30 from the swimming pool parking lot. If you want to be a part of that, you should be in the parking lot by 10:30, and the festival begins at noon.
All right, and then how long has Little Apple Pride been putting on these events?
As near as I can remember, the first festival was in 2010, and the first parade was the following year in 2011.
So this has been going on for a few years now?
Yeah, over 10 years.
All right, and then what role does this have in the community? What do you think it does for members of Manhattan?
For the general public, it just makes them aware that we are here. The LGBT community exists, and it's probably a lot bigger than they would imagine. For the members of the community, especially young people, it can give them a sense of belonging, that they're not alone, and that it is okay to be queer.
Yeah, and then kind of looking to the future, what do you hope that this parade and Pride Festival might devolve into or even do to improve our community?
I'd just like to see it get bigger, and for everyone to just learn to get along and accept everyone for who they are and who they were meant to be.
All right, and then I know we have some rain coming up. Is that going to affect anything this weekend?
It is not going to stop it. We have a contingency plan if the forecast gets worse. At present, it's looking like the heavy stuff isn't going to start till evening, so bring an umbrella and have fun.
All right, and then that is all the time we have for. Thank you for joining me so much, and then we're going to go back to you, Landon.
Thanks, Kate. We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll show you what the weather will look like for the next few days. And we'll get you ready for the 35th annual Tulip Festival taking place in Wamego this weekend.
Kansas State's athletic program does not like to postpone until tomorrow what can be accomplished today.
It's going to be tied into Bramlage with some upgrades to Bramlage in terms of the Legends Room. Is now going to be 7 times bigger than it currently is, with new entrances on the east and west side. So that facility, the South End Zone project, is going to touch both Bramlage in a very positive way, and obviously finish off the stadium look and feel.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State. So it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
Dribble, and it is go time! He'll take it down on Jacobson. Off to McGurl, layup, yes! Fielded at the 48. Here's Brooks to the 25-20. He's going to score! Wildcat touchdown! He crushes it!
This weekend, Wamego will host its 35th annual Tulip Festival. Over the two-day event, the city expects to host anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 visitors viewing thousands of tulips. The festival is set to have over 100 vendors, food trucks, and other activities.
The idea was to just, of course, draw attention to Wamego, bring visitors in to see what our little town, what we call small town, big experience. And it was just an idea of family fun.
We'll now go to Eden Brockman, who will tell us what the forecast looks like for the weekend. Eden?
Thanks, Landon. Now let's get into our national temperatures. So over here on the East Coast, we are going to be seeing temperatures in the low to mid 60s range. As we travel down south, we are going to see some higher temperatures getting into that mid to high 70s range. Now, as we continue west, temperatures are going to get even higher. We're going to be seeing mid to high 80s in Texas and even low 90s as we head west. Now, as we go up the west coast, it is going to be getting a little bit cooler with temperatures in the mid to high 60s range. And as we see our northwest region, temperatures are going to be low in the mid to high 50s with some thunderstorms and some rain. Now, as we go on over to the Midwest into Kansas, temperatures are going to be in the mid to high 70s over on the east side of the state. As we look a little bit south, we are going to be seeing some thunderstorms and some rain, as well as some rain out here in Riley County. Now, as we look more western, temperatures are going to be in the low 80s, and it's going to be sunny. So it's a great day to live in western Kansas with the temperatures that they're having. Now on to today's forecast. It started off a little cool this morning, but it's going to heat up throughout the day with our high at 3 p.m. And now we are going to have this evening some chance of some thunderstorms, so make sure you bring an umbrella out with you tonight. Now let's move on to our 5-day forecast. Tonight we do have the chance of those thunderstorms, and then Friday it's going to be partly cloudy with some sun. As for Saturday, we're going to have some rain. So if you're heading out to the Little Pride Festival or to the Tulip Festival, make sure you dress accordingly. And as for the rest of the week, it's going to start to get more sunny with temperatures in the low to high 60s. That's all the time we have for weather today. Back to you at the desk, Landon.
Thanks, Eden. Sports coming up after the break. We'll show you how the Classy Cats won big at their national competition. And we'll take you to the Pilates studio and show you how one instructor used the activity to avoid a potential surgery.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State. So it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
K-State will run the option. Here's Skylar Thompson. He walks it in! Walks it in for Antonio Gordon. Here's the shot of the step. And it is Kansas State, courtesy
courtesy of Brent Carlson. Side of the box, crossing, wide open, the shot.
Thompson right away. That ball is gone.
She gets the ball back, goes up strong, scores, and one.
K-State, I think, has made me comfortable taking a leadership position. As a computer scientist, the leadership experience and how well you communicate with others is often overlooked by most people. I'm a section leader in the K-State marching band, so it definitely made pursuing, those leadership opportunities more easily. If you demonstrate proficiency in those skills, then that really sets you apart, and I think that really has to go into why I ultimately got the internship.
He'll take it down on Jacobson. Off to McGurl. Layup. Yes! Fielded at the 48. Here's Brooks to the 25-20. He's going to score! Wildcat touchdown! He crushes it!
We'll now go to sports anchor Lena Sadarin to learn more about a local Pilates instructor. Lena?
Thanks, Landon. Pilates is an exercise science dealing with the mind and body, focusing on core strength and general fitness. One studio here in Manhattan is hoping to help clients with both of these aspects.
Katie Larson, an instructor and studio manager of Little Apple Pilates, was once told she would need hip surgery to live her life comfortably, but when she was introduced to Pilates, surgery was no longer needed.
They told me I needed surgery, and she said, no, you don't need surgery. Let me work your core for a while. And she got me into, I touched a whole bunch of other things before I got into Pilates. It was like the last thing I touched in the studio, but when I did, I found my core. She taught me about my anatomy and my body, and I have never had to have surgery, so that's been a big, huge blessing for me.
Larson works at Little Apple Pilates with her good friend and studio owner Hillary Santana, who introduced her to Pilates.
I know Pilates doesn't sound super attractive to everybody, but what we do is we are an instruction manual for your body, and so we are able to make you feel better, and you don't know what you don't know, but we do.
Pilates has changed Larson's life, and she now uses her love for the workout to change other people's lives as well.
Instead of, I just can't do it, it's okay, so where are we lacking in our body? Where's the strength not there? So where can we find the strength? Watching the light bulbs turn on, especially in my older clients, when that light bulb goes on, or they go, oh my gosh, I got to roll it for the first time, and I'm like, see, I told you there really was a muscle in there that you could attach to. So.
According to the report published by Research Dive, Pilates' popularity is growing worldwide as more people come to understand the benefits of the workout.
A few weeks ago, our K-State Classy Cats traveled to Orlando to compete in the College Classic. It was their first time competing as a team since the early 2000s, and almost none of the dancers had ever traveled for a competition in their collegiate career. But they certainly didn't let that stop them. The team brought back the title of D1A Palm National Champions. Since it was their first time, preparation was key. Emmy Bidnick, the head section leader, says they had a big challenge to overcome, but the end result was worth the stress.
It was the best feeling ever. It was so fun because all of our families and we had friends that came and supported us. So it really gave us motivation and inspired us to do really well. And then for them to say Kansas State University, and they play really loud music right afterwards, and I don't know, I get like giddy talking about it again. It's a core memory for sure. I never want to forget it.
And that's all the time we have for sports today. Back to you, Landon.
Thanks, Lena. We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at our final forecast. Plus, we'll show you how one monkey at the Sunset Zoo took advantage of modern technology to change her life.
I always knew I enjoyed working with kids, and that was something I was passionate about, and I originally planned to become a teacher. I realized I was more passionate about the kids and their upbringing and their development, and I found that K-State actually offered a program that worked perfectly with my interests, and so I decided that school counseling was kind of the right path for me, just so that I could focus more on that psychology aspect and work with the kids on a more intimate level.
So within industrial engineering, you can actually start your master's degree a year early and start taking those classes your senior year. And then after you go through those upper level courses, you only really have a year left and you would come out with your bachelor's and master's degree, which is something I have been considering just because, you know, it's one extra year and I do love K-State. So it's like, you know, win-win. But that's a perk with being an industrial engineer. You're able to get your master's degree in just one extra year.
I went on my campus tour. They had like the Baja like racing teams, all the like parts and everything on display, and I was like, that's super cool. My first year, we made robots, made a line following robot, assembled it and coded it. And my current major is biomedical engineering. It's like a jack of all trades since you take coding from computer science and then some stuff from electrical. It's kind of just like a mix of like all the like main departments of college engineering, and this is the spot for me.
Kansas State's athletic program does not like to postpone until tomorrow what can be accomplished today.
It's going to be tied into Bramlage with some upgrades to Bramlage in terms of the Legends Room. Is now going to be 7 times bigger than it currently is, with new entrances on the east and west side. So that facility, the South End Zone project, is going to touch both Bramlage in a very positive way, and obviously finish off the stadium look and feel.
A colobus monkey at the Sunset Zoo named Mangalisa can now see after the K-State Veterinary Medicine Program performed cataract surgery. Cataracts is a disease commonly found in humans, not monkeys, developed quickly in Mangalisa's eyes, leaving the already deaf monkey blind. Rob Chase, the primate keeper at the zoo, was with her every step of the way and said it was incredible to see her step outside for the first time after being blind for 2 years.
I didn't get a whole lot done when she first came out. I came out here and watched her and took pictures and videos, and just from going from seeing her the way she was to what she's supposed to be, what their natural instincts are, I can't explain it. It's incredible.
Not only her eyesight that we've been able to restore and regain, it's her lifestyle is better now, and it's a testament to how we care for our animals here at Sunset Zoo.
We're now joined with Eden Brockman, who's going to give us one last look at the final forecast.
Thanks, Landon. All right, let's take a look at our 5-day weather. So tonight it is going to have those scattered thunderstorms, so make sure you dress accordingly if you're going to go outside. We're going to have some partial clouds tomorrow, but into the weekend there is going to be some rain, so make sure you prepare for that. But next week it'll be nice and sunny.
Yeah, so if you're gonna go see Mangalisa this weekend, make sure you bring an umbrella.
Yes, and she is a sight to see. You all should make it out to Sunset Zoo if you can.
And if you make it out to the Tulip Festival, umbrella as well?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. That's all the time we have for this week's show, but join us right back here for our final show on May 5th.
This is Channel 8 News.